Republicans have seen the polling and they are terrified that running strongly against all abortions is going to crush them in November. So we have to understand now on the left, the Republicans have seen the polling. They know the numbers. In the aftermath of the repeal of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court, the overturning of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court, we have seen a dramatic shift in polling for these November midterm elections. And I've told you that we're going to look at the numbers tomorrow or Thursday, but the odds that Democrats keep the Senate are now roughly 2-1. Democrats still expected to lose the House, but by a smaller margin than at any point during this midterm election cycle. And much of it is because of the anger about Roe v. Wade being overturned and the fundamental right to an abortion in most cases disappearing. Republicans are aware of this, and we are now seeing a number of different Republicans, either in interviews or on their websites, change or certainly restructure the way that they talk about abortion, some of them removing altogether their anti-choice stances from their respective websites. So last week, I brought you the story of this Democrat in Michigan who won in a swing district in a special election by focusing in on abortion, just straight up won. And it's abundantly clear that this is a big risk for Republicans. We now have a clip from this is from yesterday or maybe the day before yet. No, this is from yesterday. This is John I believe it's pronounced O'D, might be O'Day. This is the Republican Senate candidate in Colorado. He went on Fox News and he made it very clear. He supports women's right to choose an abortion early in the pregnancy and even later when there are particular circumstances. Take a listen to this, a very different sounding Republican.
Martha, thanks for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
You know, your race was a very interesting one to watch. You beat a candidate who was more of a Trump supporter. You are sort of running in a more moderate lane, and yet your opponent, the current Senator Michael Bennet, is looking to sort of peg you that way a little bit more. Here's an example in an ad that dropped on Friday. Watch this.
Dropped.
It makes the race for Senate even more important.
Michael Bennet has always fought to protect a woman's right to make her own health care decisions.
But Joe O'Day opposes the law protecting abortion access in Colorado.
So we want to give you a chance to respond to that because clearly the Roe v. Wade decision is becoming a factor in races all across the country. We're going to see a lot of ads like that. Are they accurately portraying your view on this, sir?
Oh, that ad's dishonest. It's at best. I came out early on in this election and said that I supported a woman's rights early on in the pregnancy and even later on, with mitigating circumstances. So I've been very vocal about that issue, ran my primary on that, and we ended up winning.
So this is very interesting because I can't tell you that if Joe O'Day makes it to the Senate, that he would actually be a pro-choice vote. I can't say that. All we can look at is what he's saying today. And he has made, I believe, the correct calculation that at this point, when it comes to Democrats and even moderate Republicans, it is not a good idea to take these wacky anti-choice views in a state like Colorado when you're running in the Senate. Now, if you are running in a particular red district for the House in Alabama, it's a very different story. But he's correctly sort of taking the pulse of the electorate in Colorado and the pulse of the country. And if he is going to defeat Bennet and get to the Senate with that electorate and the entire state of Colorado as the voting constituency, he can't be a wacky anti-choicer. Now, he may be an anti-choicer personally, but he has made the correct calculation that he can't really be running that way. This is not super unique. We're seeing instances of this elsewhere as well. In Arizona 4 days ago, Blake Masters, right-wing nut, backtracks on abortion and scrubs his campaign website. This is all from the last week. So Blake Masters realizing I might want to ease up on some of the anti-abortion stuff. Another example here, Republican congressional candidate and state senator Tom Barrett totally removed the values section of his campaign website, which touted his anti-abortion position and history with the pro-life movement, also making the calculation that, listen, even if these are my views, and even if this is how I'm ultimately going to vote if the people elect me, I don't necessarily want to be promoting this and making it front and center. This is a very important shift. Now, what are going to be the substantive repercussions of such a shift? We actually don't know yet, because part of it is, are these Republicans actually becoming mildly pro-choice, or are they just lying because they see that that's what they need to do in order to get themselves elected, and it won't actually change anything if and when they do? It's a predictive question. We're just guessing. We don't have the answer. But the fact that they're feeling the need to change their messaging on this issue is already extraordinarily important. Let me know what you make of this. Are these candidates, is there going to be a wave of pro-choice Republicans, or are these merely the lies they're willing to tell in order to get themselves elected because they've sort of put their finger to the wind and feel the way that it's blowing? Let me know. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern, it is finally here. I know many of you have been waiting for so long. It is the David Pakman Show members only town hall. We will open up the phone lines exclusively to our members tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Every member is welcome to participate and chat with me. It will be streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So everybody is free to watch, but we will just be inviting our members to participate in the town hall. Still time to sign up at joinpakman.com.